What is going on, you guys? I hope you guys had a beautiful start to the week. I know we did here at the floor. How's everybody doing? Doing good. What's up, Ray? What's up, CB, Sasi? How are we doing, everybody? Everybody should be green today. We literally had a 89-second workday, so nobody should be red on the day after that. Let's see here. What an intro. CB, I made that a long time ago. I love it. How'd we do today? We do good? That's good. That's good. All right. Well, first off here, welcome in to anybody that's new to these streams. Obviously, this is a charting session and Q&A here, so we're going to be going through my entire watch list tonight from A to Z, seeing what I like for tomorrow and the rest of the week. Now, I do want to go over a couple things here. We do have news tomorrow. Hold on, let's see here. News tomorrow, we have 9:45 Chicago PMI. We have FOMC minutes at 2. That's odd. FOMC minutes shouldn't really affect us, but it is something to watch out for. But we do have Chicago PMI at 9:45 a.m., so 15 minutes into market open. That's going to be something I'm looking for. If we don't get a trade right off open like we did today, then I actually do like that 15-minute in news because it gives us another opportunity to have a quick spike of volume and, get things flowing a little bit. So that is what I'm looking at news-wise tomorrow. We have no earnings this week, and Thursday market will be closed. So I would imagine they're just doing FOMC minutes at 2 on Tuesday because Wednesday's New Year's Eve. I guess I don't really know why they changed that. That's super odd, though. I don't think I've ever seen an FOMC that's not on a Wednesday. So anyways, yeah, but that's what I'm looking at news-wise tomorrow. I want to go over the trade we took today on Tesla. Now, we were done, like I said, literally 89 seconds into the day. And we took this here on, I believe, the second candle. Second candle here. We came down to this 466.05 level that I had on Tesla. Connor actually signaled this one, but we came down here, we bounced, we opened green on this next candle. We ended up getting a nice green to red flip here. When we got this flip, I actually tried getting in a bit earlier than Connor actually signaled it, but I didn't get my order filled as quickly as I would have liked to. So I actually attempted to cancel that order, but by the time that I clicked cancel, the order actually got filled. So yeah, ended up taking this here right below 466 is when I got filled. I tried getting in here around 466.70. So super late fill for me, which is a little unfortunate because this could have been an absolutely crazy percent trade for an opening play like that, but ended up still being a nice 8.8% return for me. These contracts moved insane this morning, though. If you guys look at my Instagram and watch the live trade from today, you guys can literally see I was up like $100. I glanced away for like a second, and then I was up like 1,200 in a snap of a finger. So those contracts moved absolutely crazy. But we did end up getting out here, same candle on 9:31, and that was wraps for the day, for me at least. I know Nikita stuck around and signaled at least 1 or 2 futures trades on NQ. I don't exactly know. I know he signaled a couple of futures trades, though. So overall, beautiful day at the floor. Great start to the week, and we are really ending 2025 strong here. So let's bring that momentum into tomorrow and Wednesday. You guys already know that I'm probably not looking to trade on Wednesday. I'm going to be at the charts, obviously. I'm going to be here for the chat, but I'm not really expecting to take anything just because it's literally the last day of the year. We're probably going to have low volume because of New Year's on Thursday. I was actually surprised that market was even open on New Year's Eve. So either way, Yeah, that's what I'm looking like for the next couple of days here. But let's go ahead and see what kind of setups we've actually got forming. I do like Apple here at this 275.43 resistance. We're just a little far away right now. We're pretty much $2 off. So that is kind of a decent move for Apple that we're going to have to make overnight in order to see that level. So I don't know if that one's going to make the watch list, but it's definitely worth marking. Let's see here. AMD, I'm not really interested on this until we get to, what is that? 220.40. Yeah, AMD, I'm all good until 220.40 to the upside. I have no downside on that for now. ARM, I will pass. AVGO. AVGO downside does not look bad if we can get down there. I just wish we would have closed a little bit lower. Like if we would have been able to close around this 346 area, I would have liked this trade a lot better. So probably going to pass on that for now. BA, I'm all good up until 219.27. See here, coin ended up making its way down. We still didn't see this 4-hour support level, so I do still really like this 4-hour support at 230.13. That is a beautiful looking level, a perfect flat bottom on the higher time frames. So that's something I'm watching for sure. That's just going to stay on the watch list the same as it was today, because nothing has really changed there. Circle, we are at a 4-hour uptrend right now. Not much to do with this until we either break or bounce. Let's see here. So what do we have so far? We have coin. That's about it. Crowd. Crowd doesn't look bad at this low, but the only thing I'd be worried about on this is lack of volume, because we're looking at literally a couple hundred in volume for the entire day on the contracts. So that's not great for us. Probably going to avoid that just due to the fact that we're most likely not even going to be able to trade it. EDOG, I'm all good. Disney, where are we at? 114.74. That actually doesn't look bad. We haven't had an opportunity pop up on Disney in quite a while here. So Disney at 114.74 does not look bad if we can get up here. I do like that. The setup itself is solid. The stock is really the main problem there. Google, I'm uninterested to the downside now. I would only be looking at this at 315.94 to the upside. We are a couple dollars away on that, but that's probably going to go on the watch list just because we can make that move overnight as long as they just continue this upside. Hood, I don't have anything for upside on Hood, but I like this 115.50 level to the downside still. We're just kind of far away on that. So we do have quite a few things here. Just a lot of them are too far away for us to actually be paying that close of attention to them. Meta actually looks super nice here. If we can end up holding below this range, low of day from today at 654.39 looks great. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, 654.39 looks fantastic on this actually. If we end up holding below this range on the higher time frames, that's like textbook ready to tank setup right there. I like that wick on the 4-hour as well. We just need to close this 4-hour candle below, and this is going to be probably my #1 setup for tomorrow. So yeah, Meta's definitely going on the watch list. That one's going to be 100% determined on where we close that 4-hour candle though. Microsoft, I'm all good. see. MSTR, I still am not a fan of MSTR to the downside here at the lows. I know we have enough room, like the trend is giving us enough room for sure. But it doesn't look like we're very aggressive down here yet. We're just kind of, the sellers are kind of giving up at this area. Buyers aren't necessarily stepping in, but the sellers are not being aggressive down here. So up until that happens, which may be pre-market, I'm going to pass on this. I still would be interested if we can just see those sellers get a bit more aggressive than they are right now. Because like I said, this trend is now giving us plenty of room. Beforehand, like today, we only had probably 50 cents of room max. So that looks better. We just need to see that price action first. MU ended up closing above a new all-time high, closing the day out above a new all-time high. If we actually go red to green on this 4-hour candle, this is going to look really nice for a continuation to the upside. Let's see how to fix the entry and exit near resistance or support. Is it correct? So see, I will answer that as soon as we get done with the charting portion here, because we're going to be wrapped up with the charting fairly soon here, so we can get to the Q&A after that. But yeah, MU is looking good. I like this super strong close on the 4-hour, super strong close on the daily. Like I said, if this 4-hour flips red to green, this is looking primed for a nice move to the upside. Let's see, 259.99 or yeah, 295.99. A little dyslexic right now. Let's see, Nvidia downside. I'm gonna pass. What's up, Nicole? All right, OKLO, I'm all good. Oracle kind of looks the same as AVGO right now. Oracle and AVGO look very similar. I think downside has potential for sure. If we're going to start picking up momentum to the downside, it's going to be here at this 191.49 level. I'm just going to need to see us close or get a aggressive move below this trend. So Oracle, I'll mark it, but it's probably not going on the watch list tonight. Let's see here. RGTI, I'm all good. Rivian, I'm all good. Shop, I'm all good. Shop, actually, the setup here doesn't look bad. I just really don't want to mess with it, if I'm being honest with you guys. That's really the only reason. The volume on the contracts is just not there. I don't want to have to fight for volume in our literally last 24 hours of our 2025 trading. So let's see here. SMCI, nope. SPX. I mean, I'm not gonna look to trade anything on this, but definitely looks like we can see highs again pretty soon. And then last but not least here, Tesla. I actually don't have anything to the downside on this right now. The level that we are at currently is a previous resistance level that we ended up breaking out of, and we are currently bouncing off of that. If you guys can see that over here. But yeah, I don't have anything on Tesla right now. Maybe pre-market, it'll set something up, but we do have a decent amount to look at here. So let's go ahead and get the watch list made, and then we can move on to the Q&A session, or Q&A section of this charting session. Let's see. So, all right. First off, we have Apple. I'm looking at the Looking at the 275.43 resistance. For a break to the upside, targeting a move to this next resistance here. It's not 275.96, it is 276.16. Targeting a move to the next resistance break at 276.16. Above this, I will just be looking for momentum. Overall, are looking like we have some nice bullish opportunity since we have broken and held above this 4-hour wedge. 275.43 should be the level where we see the upside momentum really start to kick in. So yeah, Apple's looking good. I like this. I like that a lot. We are just a little far away right now, so we're gonna have to reorder these based on, you know, likelihood that we're actually gonna trade them tomorrow. Like I said, coin is gonna stay exactly the same, so I'm just gonna rip this from the trade ideas this morning. Coin, I'm going to be looking at the 230.13 4-hour flat bottom for a break to the downside. We have room on this all the way down to the next support at 225.25. So tons of room down on this. Obviously, probably not going to look to take that entire move. Those contracts should be paying well before then, and we do not have to risk it holding for an entire $5 move on coin. But if it wants to give it to us right away, that's cool. I'm down for it, but otherwise, probably just going to look to scale out with momentum. So Disney is up next. Looking at the 114.74 resistance for a breakout, targeting a move to the top of the 1-hour trend. Well, 1-hour uptrend channel at 115.24. Only interested in this if we have good contract volume off open. Next up, we have Google. Once again, Google is one of those that's kind of far away right now. So Google, I'm looking at the 315.94 resistance on the 1 hour for a breakout. And then on this, I'm going to be targeting a move probably, I mean, we actually have room on this all the way up to like 319.37. But more realistic, I'm just going to look for psychological levels for targets here because, like I said, we do just have an absurd amount of room to the upside on this, so I'm not gonna overshoot expectations here. Targeting a move to the 317 psychological level. After that, we have room on the 1 hour all the way up to 319.37 for my final target. This is a rejection area, so I will not be looking to hold for the break. I will be looking to exit right at the level. I typically wait for a break on my targets. So all these targets that I have here, unless I specify otherwise, I'm looking for a break of that target 99.9% of the time because the levels that I target are typically other supports and resistances that are also technically breakout levels. We're just usually extended when we go into them, which is why I'm not holding for a whole other trade, if that makes sense. So that one, though, that is a rejection area that I would be extremely surprised if we didn't reject from there. So that's why I'm saying if we touch it, I'm just going to be out. Hood, I am actually just going to rip from today's trade ideas as well because it's exactly the same. So Hood, I'm looking at the 115.50 support on the 1 hour for a break to the downside, targeting a move to 115.17, then the 115 break. Below this, we have room all the way down to 112.05, and 112.05 is a massive level that I'm going to be watching as well. Hopefully, the way this plays out is we can take it at this 115.50 support. We can get a nice move down to the 114-ish area. And after that, I will be looking to take 112.06 as a separate trade. I highly doubt we're going to dump off $3.50 all in one go, where it's clean enough for us to hold the entire time. But yeah, that is my ideal scenario on how this would play out. 115.50 entry. First target 115 break, scale out a half. After that, I would be looking for 114 for my final target, just because I know a $2 straight down move on Hood is going to be pretty extended at that point in time. And then, like I said, wait for 112.06 as a separate trade. That gives us the best chance to take a couple super clean, easy trades, while also not wasting any of these levels on an overextended move. Like, I don't want Hood to come all the way down here to 112.06 on that move, because if it does, it's going to be overextended. And this right here is a major setup that we can take for way more than that. So yeah, I just don't want to waste a really good setup on just the very tail end of an overextended move. All right, Meta currently, I'm going to be looking at that, what is this level? 654.39. Actually, Meta currently consolidating in/below a demand zone on the 1 hour. If we can flip and hold red on the 4 hour candle, we should be setting up perfectly for a major sell-off. Looking at the, I already forgot what it was, 654.39. Looking at the 654.39 low of day for entry, targeting a move to, what did I say earlier? Did we have any trends here? Really didn't. We've got room down to 652.64. Okay. Targeting a move down to the 652.64 support area. Below this, we have room to fall all the way down to the next support at sorry, 647.59. Wow. Yeah, we've got a lot of room on this too. That's one I could see Meta taking advantage of and literally just selling off all day. MSTR looking at the 154.12 support from, well, 154.12 low a day from Friday, targeting a move down to the 30-minute downtrend at 152.55 for my final target. I will only be interested in this level if we see sellers get more aggressive after hours / pre-market. Currently, the selling is too passive in this area for me to expect a clean break. MU, we got a lot of stuff, guys. We got a lot of stuff. That means we're either going to have a lot of setups in the last 2 days of the year, or we're going to have a lot of setups in the first few days of 2026. So we'll see here. All right. MU had an extremely strong close on the 4 hour at the end of day, above a new all-time high. Well, looking at the 295.99 all-time high for entry, targeting momentum above, I'll just probably keep it straightforward and simple here. 297, next psychological level here. Targeting momentum above 297. We have huge potential to run here as long as we can see the 4 hour candle close strong. Well, flip green, red to green, and close / hold above the previous all-time high at, what is that, 294.80. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then last but not least here, we have Oracle. A few of these are going to be in the side watch though, guys, so just keep that in mind. We have a lot of stuff here, but they're not all just for tomorrow. So Oracle, looking at the 191.49 support. For a break to the downside. This is a reversal play on higher time frames. This is the level that we should be picking up a lot of, well, the selling pressure to get a move back down to lows. We need to break and hold below this 1 hour uptrend channel, and this setup will be primed and ready to go. Targeting a move on this to the 190 break. Below that, we have room. Below that, we have room to where? We have room down to 189.27. For my final target. All right, that is the entire watch list right now. Now let's rearrange these and get them where they need to be, because like I said, we've got a lot here, and this looks a little messy right now. Google's upside, Hood is downside, Meta is downside, MSTR is downside, MU is upside, Oracle is downside. Okay, so let's go ahead and see here. Apple is pretty far, so we're gonna go ahead and put that in the side watch. All right, Apple, we're gonna go ahead and put that down here. Coin is pretty close still. Disney is pretty close. Google, unfortunately, is probably going to have to go in the side watch. This one's a little too far right now. Google Hood is probably going to go to the side watch as well. Or actually, Hood's staying up here. Hood's close enough that it could happen. Meta though, Meta is going on top right now. Meta is taking the spot of top of the watch list for now, because I think Meta is probably the most realistic thing we're going to be looking at tomorrow. Or one of the most realistic things. MSTR is up there as well. I would actually rather take MSTR than coin if I had the chance or the choice. MU is going to be up here at the top of the watch list as well. So we're going Meta, MU, MSTR, then coin, Hood, Disney. Oracle is a little far away right now, so that's going to go down to the side watch as well. So yeah, that is the finalized watch list for tomorrow and possibly the rest of the week here. And we got people dropping off already. That's crazy workage right there. But yeah. All right, go ahead and take a screenshot of that. Ooh, English. Go ahead and take a screenshot of that and save it. I'm going to go ahead and send a screenshot to everybody that's in the floor right now. Also, I have to do it. I'm sorry. If you're not in the floor and you want to trade with me and the team every day, click that first link in the description. We are having literally the most ridiculous deal we could have right now. So you might as well take advantage of it. Click the link in the description and join up, and you can come trade with us to start off your 2026. We'd love to see you here. All right, let's go ahead and I'll keep this up here for a second. We do have about 20 minutes remaining here in the live stream. So this is the Q&A time. If you guys have any questions for me, anything regarding any of these setups, any setups you want me to check out, or anything trading related, or I guess in general, if you have questions in general, feel free to ask. I will happily sit here and answer your questions for as long as you have them. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and start sending them, because I really don't want to sit here in silence and just stare at you guys like this for the entire rest of the stream. So it's either one or the other. I'm either staring at you for 20 minutes or I'm answering questions for 20 minutes. With Meta on the 1 hour setup, why don't you look at that as liquidity? Racy, the reason that I'm not looking at it like that is because in order to see, or in order to take this play, I need to see exactly what I said I needed to see up here in the trade ideas. So it's gonna be either setting up properly or we're not gonna be taking it. So if it's not setting up to play out the way that I'm looking at it to play out, then it is going to work out that way, Racy. But the way that I'm looking for it to set up, we're not going to have to worry about liquidity sweep and a bounce and all that. We're going to have to see aggressive selling coming down here, and we're going to have to see a lot of it in order to get this. But right now in this area, we are holding a little bit too much right now. That's why I said I need to see a close below on a higher time frame. Like this 4 hour candle, if we could close below, that would be perfect for us. And that would wipe out all of my worries about a major bounce or major buying stepping in down at this level. Looking forward to the opportunity with MU and others tomorrow. Yeah, Ward, MU's looking good. How to fix the entry and exit near resistance or support. Okay, what do you mean by fix the entry and exit, Ceci? You're going to have to elaborate a bit more than that because I don't know what you mean. See. Do you trade on TOS? Do you know how to create limit orders on TOS? I do know how to create limit orders on TOS. However, I do not trade on TOS. So there's a few different ways you can go about creating a limit order. Now, one of those would be by using Active Trader and plugging your contracts into an Active Trader. If you watch, it's on my channel, the TOS setup walkthrough. I have an entire video on how to do that. Now, if you just replace the section where I have the big buttons with an Active Trader, you can do it exactly the same way. Otherwise, you're going to have to link your contracts to something where you can use an Active Trader. Okay? And one way to set those limit orders is literally just to click where you click what price you want to buy at, click what price you want to sell at. Right, on this Active Trader, and if you check auto send, it's going to put that order out there automatically. You're not going to have to go through a bunch of confirmation windows. Now, another way to go about that is by using the, let's see here, using the big buttons, and you can type in buy bid, sell ask. All right, if you put these in here, these are limit orders. So it's going to execute your order at the bid. It's going to execute your order at the ask. Personally, I would not recommend using limit buy orders because you're going to miss pretty much every single trade. I don't know that there's a single trade that we've taken that if you're using a limit order, unless it is something that it's already broken and it just came back for a quick second, I don't know that there's any trade that we've taken that you're not going to miss your entry with a limit buy. Limit sells, on the other hand, though, if you are selling with the momentum like you should be anyways, you can click sell ask, and that's going to be just fine. Now, you might need a little bit more of a push, but either way, if you're clicking sell ask and you're selling with momentum, that limit order should get hit pretty much immediately. So that's another way. Another way would be by just going to your options chain here, clicking on something, right? And then it's going to pop up this super annoying order entry window down here where you're going to enter in your position. You're going to select limit price, and then you're going to type in your price here, and then you're going to hit confirm and send. And then it's going to say, are you sure you want to do that? And then you're going to say yes. And then it's going to say, are you really, really sure? And then you're going to say yes. And then there's your limit order. I don't necessarily recommend that last option. I would, however, recommend the options that, you can just check auto send and it's going to do it immediately for you. Really meant setting how to buy at certain levels. You can't do that on the stock itself, but you can on the options. It's the same thing with what I was just talking about on the Active Trader. This would be, if we were looking at options contracts, let's just go ahead and plug some contracts in here. All right. Now we're looking at options contracts. You can set an order here at the specific price. You can see, I'm pointing with my finger. You can see the little crosshair moving down here when I move my price up and down on the Active Trader. You see that? Same thing on the sell, right? You can see the crosshair moving, but you can't do it if you're on a stock chart, you cannot do it with an options contract. If you're on a stock chart and you're setting a limit buy or a limit sell, it's going to set it for the shares of the stock, not the options contract. So if you want to do it on a chart, you're going to have to do it on the options contract chart, where in that case, all you have to do is just right click and then you can put buy, or let's see, I believe it's actually a different, thing here. I think you can actually double click, or wait, I don't remember exactly how that works actually. It's either buy or buy custom, one of the two. And then that will allow you to do it on the chart, but it's just easier if you do it on Active Trader because you're doing the same thing. You guys can see the crosshair moving down here, but you can't do it if you're on Meta's stock chart. You can't just set an options contract order on the chart. You're going to have options contracts pulled up. Let's see here. Does that answer your question, Ray? Before I move on. And by the way, I'm in agreement with you. I think there should be a way to do that. I really wish there was a way to do that. It's actually super annoying that there's not, because I understand like the contracts are not going to be moving exactly how the stock is moving, but I would rather be able to just place limit orders out on the stock chart and just get filled at whatever contract price they're able to fill me at when the stock gets to this price. I don't know why no platform does that. I absolutely think they should. If I ever have creative control to build a trading platform, that is literally the first thing that I'm doing. It's like take everything else from IB and TOS, leave it the same, and add in this. Active Trader won't tell me the price or the option price, so how would I know the price? It would tell you the price, Ray. Look, I'm going to pop open Active Trader here. Whatever price we are currently ticking at is where the center of the Active Trader is going to be. Now, since market's closed, obviously that's going to be a bit of a problem. But let's do this again. Let's plug these options contracts in here. All you have to do to see the current price of the contracts is just look up here at the top. Look up here at the top in the blue where it says the price of the contracts. It's going to show it right there, and it's also going to be the centered price on Active Trader. So right here you see how 6 flat is highlighted and everything else is dark. That's because the current option price is 6. So yes, I mean, in an indirect way, yes, it does tell you the options contract price. And also, if you take a position on Active Trader, it's going to show you all this info up here, like your average price, your P&L open, your P&L for the day. What is that? Can't even see. Am I going blind? Can't even see what that says. Whatever. All right. But yeah, it shows you your open P&L, your P&L for the day, average price, all that good stuff. So, but what price is Apple? Well, Ray, that would just be where you pull up another chart for Apple. So like I said, if you watch that video that I have on my channel on how to set up TOS for trading, like you're going to have the same exact charting setup that I have right here. Actually, I'll just modify it here to show you. Look, all you have to do, add a separate chart down here, link it to something different, make that link to some option contract. Okay, see how this options contract is pulled up right now? It's not linked to my other ones. We're going to get rid of the chart and we're going to add in Active Trader, and there you go. That's all you need right there. You have everything at your fingertips. And if you have another screen, you can even just pull this up on another screen and use it that way. So like right now, all of my charts are Tesla charts. I'll go ahead and make them meta charts so they match the contracts. All my charts are meta charts. Right now I have the meta 65750 calls pulled up down here in the bottom right. So I can click on any of these buttons down here and it'll just execute my order. So yeah, all you really have to do, oh, you have that set up. Okay, so if you have that set up, literally just go and replace the buttons with Active Trader. You can still buy market and sell market from Active Trader. I just personally, I like the buttons better because it's just less to look at. Like even the book trader on IB, I don't have the whole thing opened up like that. I just have the buttons because there's no need for me to overcomplicate everything that I'm already looking at in the first place. Like I personally just don't like having the extra mess. So that is my reasoning for just keeping the buttons instead of doing the Active Trader. I can see how it would be useful to some people. Personally, I'm not picky enough with my fills that I care too much about that. Like I just need to know that I can be in and out when I want to be in and out. Other than that, and you know, given the opportunity to sell limit to save myself from getting smacked on the spreads, I'll do that. But the majority of the time, the stuff we're trading it's high volume enough that as long as I'm getting out on a momentum push in my direction, I'm getting probably the best fill price that I possibly can at that point in time. Let's say I wanted to enter at 275.35. I'd like to set it and forget. So yeah, Ray, I mean, I don't know how to explain it anyway other than that. It's just, it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Like I said, I wish it did. So you're going to have to base your options contract chart off of what the stock chart is doing if you really want to do that. That's really the only way you're going to be able to get around that. I wish, like I said, I wish there was another way. There's not another way on any platform, not just TOS. And yeah, like I said, if I ever get creative control of a trading platform, that is the first thing that I'm doing, is making that a thing. Like, I don't trade futures, but when I watch Nikita trade futures, I'm like, dude, just being able to click a line on your chart and just know that your order's there and ready to go, that is so nice. So nice, because you don't have to do anything other than just wait. Let's see. Okay, I'm going back up here to Sasi. So he said how to take entry, breakout, or retest and target. I know you tried elaborating on that, but I don't know that that helps me give you any better of an answer. So I'll just go ahead and try and give you the answer that I think you're looking for, and you tell me if this helps, Sasi. So when I'm looking to take an entry on a trade, I'm looking for a few things. I'm looking to see that my stock, A, has momentum leading into my level. B, my stock has either strength or weakness compared to the market, whichever one it is that I need to see. So let's pretend we're looking at upside. I need to see momentum on the stock. I need to see that my stock is stronger than the market. I need to see that, well, I'm watching level 2. I'm watching time and sales. Time and sales and volume, that goes into seeing if the stock has momentum in the first place. But what I'm watching on level 2 is I'm watching the ask on an upside trade, because the ask is the first price that will get to that level. I'm watching the ask until the ask breaks my entry level. Once the ask breaks, I'm switching my focus to the bid, because the buyers are the ones that are in control of an upside move, and I need to make sure that the buyers are aggressive consistently. Not just the ask popping super high and then buyers just doing nothing about it. I need to see that buyers are actually stepping in and wanting this to move to the upside. So that's what I'm watching when I'm entering a trade. When I'm exiting a trade, it's actually pretty much the same thing. Typically when I'm exiting a trade though, I just have my alerts set at my target levels. And if we get a quick pop of momentum in my direction and we're maybe a couple cents off, but it looks like we're not going to be able to pull through, then I'll just take profits there. Or if we get a crazy move down almost to my final target right off the break, I'll usually take profits there too, because I don't want to risk, if we got 95% of what we're looking for, or 95% of the move that we're looking for on that trade, I don't need to risk the entire trade for that extra little 5%. Your entry is a breakout or okay, got you. My entries are breakouts, Sasi. I'm looking to anticipate the break. So I'm looking to be in before that level breaks. So yeah, that's why I'm watching for the momentum into the level, because I'm trying to enter on that momentum into the level because I want to be in before the actual break. Because your contracts gain a lot of value on these breakouts, and if you're getting in after the break, your risk is going to be all thrown off there. You charting in Thinkorswim or TradingView? David, I'm charting in Thinkorswim. I've always used Thinkorswim for my charts, even though I've really never used Thinkorswim for my execution. I did for a very, very short period of time when I very first started trading, like 9 years ago. When I first started trading, though, I was trading penny stocks, and I was shorting penny stocks, actually, and Thinkorswim rarely ever had the shares available to short. So I ended up switching over to E-Trade after that. So I was on Thinkorswim, actually trading on Thinkorswim for maybe a week. After that, I've never used it as an execution platform because I really liked E-Trade Pro, and I couldn't get interactive brokers until I was 21. So E-Trade Pro shut down right after I turned 21, which was right after I started my interactive account. So I've been on different platforms ever since then. I don't think it's a horrible platform for execution. I just prefer the ones that I'm using better. But yeah, I've always used Thinkorswim for charting. If you're not in the US, though, TradingView is the best alternative. And honestly, some people like TradingView better anyways. I just think Thinkorswim is, I don't know, I like it best. It might just be personal preference for me, and also just because I'm used to it. But yeah. Today, Tesla day low breakout, your next target. Okay, so if we break below after hours low on Tesla, I really don't even have room on this. That's why I didn't have it on the watch list. I've got probably a 70 cents max of room on this before I would expect a bounce. Yeah, Tom, E-Trade Pro shut down a long time ago. Is Gabe in here? Gabe might be in here. I don't know exactly when it was that it shut down, but it was shortly after I got IB. They were announcing that they were switching over fully to their, what was it, Power E-Trade. I hate that platform. You can't do anything with it. You can't customize it. You can't do anything that you could with E-Trade Pro. And I'm like, that's literally the dumbest decision that they could have made, is to get rid of that platform. I understand that they were trying to make it more modern and whatever, but like, give me the old platform that looks like I'm pulling it up on Windows XP, and the only thing that I need is just the bare bones. Like, I don't need everything to look fancy and modern and updated. I just need my buttons. That's it. Was it a bad platform? No, Ward, it was a great platform. I would say E-Trade Pro was the best alternative to Interactive, and it was the same pricing as Thinkorswim. So free market data and still better executions, in my opinion, than Thinkorswim. Same commission fees and all that, and better customization for the execution side of things. Thinkorswim has always had better charts than every other platform. That's just a default. Thinkorswim has always had better charts than every other platform, but the customization when it comes to the execution side of things is just a little bit lacking. If you are already consistent and you are already, making money, you are going to want certain things, and you're going to want to get rid of certain things, and you just can't do that on Thinkorswim. Same thing with Power E-Trade, which was their web platform that they were pushing really hard, which is why they got rid of E-Trade Pro. It was a great platform. They were just trying to push everybody to Power E-Trade because it was their new thing that they had worked on for so long, so they wanted people to use it. But yeah, that is why I don't like those platforms for executing for myself, is just because they're fine, probably. Thinkorswim is actually good. Thinkorswim is good. Power E-Trade is probably fine for some people. For me, it was terrible because it's like there's all this BS that I can't get rid of, and the one thing that I do need, I can't do. So, yeah. You think using EMAs and VWAP is a waste of time? I don't know about a waste of time, Murat, but I know Nikita uses VWAP for his trades. I personally don't think they have much value for the style of trading that I'm doing. I think all lagging indicators are going to be redundant when you're doing the type of trading that I'm doing, because it's happening right now. Like, it doesn't matter what VWAP or MACD or whatever says. The price action is what moves the stock. VWAP is not going to move a stock. MACD is not going to move a stock. RSI is not going to move a stock. Neither is an EMA. The only thing that moves a stock is buyers and sellers. So if you just learn how to read price action, you don't need any indicators. Like, you really don't. They're not going to help you. They're just going to be giving you information that's going to get in your head and sketch you out about taking the trade that you were once confident in. So with Nikita's strategy, it's a little different. It's a little different than what I'm doing. Actually, it's a lot different than what I'm doing, but the use of VWAP is a little different. For what I'm doing, the momentum breakout trades, none of that is going to help you. None of it. The only thing it's going to do is, like, if you look at some of those indicators, pretty much every time we take a trade, those indicators are saying that it's too overbought or too oversold or what, like, every single time. It is never in our favor. So what is that going to do when you have setups that you are looking at every single day? They're working out every single day. They're doing exactly what you want them to for the most part. And your indicators, the all-knowing, right, are telling you that that's not going to work. What is that going to do to you mentally when you see those setups? You're just going to hesitate, right? You're going to hesitate. You're going to miss trades. You're going to be mad that you missed the trade. So you're going to take junk, revenge trading, trying to make the money that you should have made on the trade that you should have taken in the first place, that the indicators scared you out of. Like, it's useless for our style of trading. They are nothing but a hindrance to your mental clarity with breakout trading. That's facts. That's Suya. The edge we have is ourselves. But no, nothing ever is going to beat the ability to read price action. Is the profit including commission or excluding commission? Including commission. See. So whatever you make minus your commission is your profit. That's interesting. Thank you for that. I knew these were changes, but didn't know all that about E-Trade. Yeah, Ward. Actually, I kind of miss E-Trade now that we're talking about it. It was a good platform. I still think IB is better, but if I got the opportunity to just trade on E-Trade Pro again, just for the nostalgia, I absolutely would. No problem, Sissy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, do we have any more final questions or remarks here before we leave this off? I do want to say, though, once again, I have to do it. If you want to trade with us, click the first link in the description. Ridiculous, insane deal right now. If you don't use it, you're insane. Truly. So start 2026 off right. Click the first link in the description. Join the floor. I'll see you guys in there at pre-market review at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Let's end the year strong. We've been crushing it for the last, well, I don't even know how many weeks now. We've been crushing it, though. Been crushing it. So let's keep that up. Jesse, click that first link in the description, my friend. Let's do it. If you don't have the deal, sign up. It's yeah, literally. Setup is very clear and crispy. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, guys, type the trades down on Discord. Yeah, Murat. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Are you talking about the oh, what's up then, Jesse? You don't have to click anything. Tesla trades today. Oh yeah, Murat. I did not signal Tesla today. I type out all of my trades. Yeah. What Racy said. But yeah. Let's end the year strong, everybody. I'll talk to you in the morning. Thank